Hi everyone, I'll talk about recovery of sandy beach after typhoon waves, case study on Chigasaki coast. As you know, beach topography quickly responds to the action of storm waves on natural beaches, resulting in erosion of the foreshore with accretion and the calm wave condition after the storm. These seasonal beach changes may occur on beaches with protective measures or artificial beaches produced by beach nourishment. On these beaches, shore protection function over sandy beach is reduced when a trough is formed immediately offshore of the shoreline because of the increase in the wave run-up height. It's implying the importance of the study in nearshore topographic changes. Also, the response time required for the beach cycles has not been sufficiently studied, along with the 3D topographic changes associated with the beach cycles. In this study, these issues were investigated using the narrow multi-beam survey data, the normal bathymetric survey data, wave data, and sampling test of seabed materials before and after storm events, taking the Chigasaki coast in Japan as an example. The study coast is located 1 kilometer east of the Sagami River mouth. The coast has been formed owing to the deposition of sand supplies from the Sagami River and transported by eastward longshore sand transport. However, the beach has been eroded due to rapid decrease in fluvial sand supply from the river and the blockage of eastward longshore sand transport by the construction of Chigasaki fishing port. As a measure against beach erosion, an artificial headland was constructed at 1 kilometer east of the fishing port in 1990, and beach nourishment using the materials composed of sand and gravel, which was greater than the original grain size, has been carried out at a rate of 30,000 cubic meters per year since 2005. As a result, the shoreline has markedly advanced by 2019. After beach nourishment, storm waves of the largest level in the observation history associated with the typhoon hit this coast several times, as like this. In this coast, the foreshore mainly composed of gravel was relatively stable during storms, but the nearshore zone was severely eroded. Thus, short-time topographic changes before and after 4 typhoons, such as the T0709, T1115, T1721, and T1919 were studied. At first, I'll talk about T0709 hit on September 6, 2007. These show wave height, wave period, and energy flux during the typhoon and in subsequent period after typhoon. The maximum significant wave height of 6.1 meter and wave period of 10.4 seconds were observed. The duration of storm waves with a wave height over 2 meters and wave period longer than 10 seconds were long, which were over 50 hours. Also, the right table summarizes energy mean wave height, mean wave steepness, and maximum significant wave height in each observation period. This shows the topographic changes measured between February 2007, before the typhoon, and January 2008, 4 months after the typhoon. In this period, the seabed shallower than 2 and 3 meter depths was eroded by rapid offshore sand transport in entire area, whereas sand was deposited in the offshore zone between 3 to 5 meter depths after the typhoon. Also, this shows the topographic changes between January 2008 and February 2009, 17 months after the typhoon. In contrast to the topographic changes, the offshore zone between 3 and 4 meter depths was eroded with accretion near the shoreline by shoreward sand movement. This shows a change in longitudinal profile along transit number 18, located in the middle between the artificial headland and the fishing port. In October 2007, immediately after the typhoon, a bar with a ground depth of 3.4 meters has been formed, and then this bar moved landward, and finally a bar with a ground depth of 2.8 meters was formed until January 2008. In this period, the energy mean wave height was 0.54 meters with 5.7 seconds, and the wave steepness was as small as 0.01. The trough was completely buried by October 2008, thus approximately 1 year was necessary for the recovery of the beach topography after T0709. Next, I'll talk about T1115 hit on September 21, 2011. Although wave data was not measured after the observation of significant wave height of 5.3 meters during typhoon, it was the largest level in the observation history by 2011. This shows the topographic changes immediately after and 16 months after the typhoon. These were similar to the topographic changes of T0709. In the transit number 18, a bar with a ground depth of 3.7 meters has been formed on November 2011, but a part of the bar was eroded, and the trough was refilled until January 2013. The wave steepness in this period was 0.01. It was similar to that at time of recovering beach topography after T0709. Next, I'll talk about T7021, hit on October 23, 2017. Wave data was not measured after the observation of the wave height of 7.1 meters during typhoon as well. In the topographic changes, also changes were relatively small. Similar topographic change to the previous typhoon event occurred. In transit number 18, a bar with a ground depth of 3.2 meters was formed on January 20, 2018 after the typhoon. This bar moved shoreward with the formation of the ground depth of 2.3 meters until October 6. Also, the trough was buried in 44 days between October 6 and November 19. In this period, the energy mean wave height was 0.54 meters with 8.1 seconds, and the steepness was small as 0.005, which was smaller than 0.01 in the previous period. Then, the longitudinal profile became gentle slope by January 22, 2019 under similar calm wave conditions. This shows the depth distribution of the seabed materials along transit number 18. The seabed materials was mostly composed of fine and medium-sized sand on September 2017 before typhoon. When the bar was formed immediately after the typhoon, the contents of medium-sized sand increased from 49% to 57% at the offshore zone between 3 to 5 meter depths, and that of fine sand decreased from 42% to 28%. In contrast, when the bar was eroded on November 2018, the contents of medium-sized sand decreased, whereas the content of fine sand increased. Thus, it was found that medium-sized sand was mainly transported offshore and was deposited, forming a bar during storm event. Finally, I'll talk about T1919, hit on October 12, 2019. The wave data was not measured after the observation of the wave height of 5.9 meters during this typhoon as well. In this typhoon, the walkway at east of the artificial headland was destroyed over 400 meters, as like this. Then, similar topographic change to the previous typhoon event occurred. A bar with a ground depth of 3 meters was formed on October 23, immediately after the typhoon. But Part of the trough was refilled with sand until November 17. In this period, the energy mean wave height was 0.56 meter with 8.1 second, and a steepness was small as 0.005. It was similar to the wave condition at the time of the recovering beach topography after T7021. But the topographic changes were minimal. As a reason, the ground depth of the 3 meter was deeper than that of the 2.3 meter on October 7, 2018 after T1721. I'd like to conclude our study. It was found that seabed shallower than 2 and 3 meter depth was eroded by rapid offshore sand transport during the storm event, with a deposition of the sand in the zone between 3 and 5 meter depths, and then the beach recovered within 1 to 2 years after the storm waves. During storm event, medium-sized sand was mainly transported offshore and formed a bar. It was also confirmed that disappearance of a bar and trough occurred in 1 to 2 months under the condition of energy mean wave height of 0.5 meter, period of 8 seconds, and mean wave steepness of 0.005, when the ground depth of the bar was smaller than approximately 2 meters. Thus, the topography after the storm waves recovered within several months or 1 to 2 years, depending on wave condition and the ground depth of the bar. Thank you for your attention.